If you're anywhere in this process and you're trying to figure out what to do, here is what you need to do. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I last posted a video, but here we are with a really difficult video. I'm here to tell you about my acne journey, and right now I do not have any skin makeup. I only have moisturizer and have my sunscreen, and I had some blush this morning, then I don't know, just evaporated throughout the day. So this is my skin right now. In all fairness, this is not the best it had been, but it's in a good condition. I'm really glad. But also, I know that it can be really difficult to deal with acne. I'm here sharing my journey with you guys. So my acne started around when I was like 14, and you know, everyone got acne at that age. And I went to a dermatologist and they told me, oh, it's because you're in your teens, so it's gonna get better. And they gave me some, I think, antibacterial medication. I work in the pharmaceutical industry. I know so many medications and I know how they work, but I'm not here to advertise or recommend or just tell you this is the best product, because honestly every skin is different and your skin isn't my skin and my skin isn't your skin, so everyone has different reactions to different medications. So in this video I am not going to be telling you anything that is basically around a product. I'm not here to tell you, oh, use this product and your skin is gonna get better. I'm doing this video because I hate all of those people who tricked me into buying a shit ton of products when I was 15, 16, 18, 20, and I did everything that I could and it did not work because it didn't suit my skin type, it didn't suit anything. So first of all, if you're watching this video and if you have acne problems, or if you have acne scars, or if you have anything related to acne in your body, in your face, in your scalp, in your back, please just first go to the dermatologist. I'm here to tell you the timeline of what I went through, and if you went through that, or if you're in the process of going through it, if you're in the beginning or if you're in the middle, and if you feel really hopeless that nothing's gonna work. My skin got to this, from this to this, and to this. So as you can see, my skin had gone through a lot, and I did that myself, but I went to a lot of dermatologists and I saw at least 5 of them to treat my acne in the correct way. So it's a long process, but believe me, at the end of the tunnel you see the light, and when you see the light, everything comes cleaner. And especially I'm doing this video for those girlies who have PCOS, because that might affect your acne. And because we're women, our hormonal changes actually affect how our skin look, how we feel, and depending on how we feel, it reflects onto what we eat. And what we eat determines how our skin's gonna turn out. So basically it's a whole process of our feelings, our skin, our diet, and our medication, and our mental support. I'm gonna start by sharing my journey. To the end of this video, I will be sharing all of the products that I'm currently using that work for me, that are not paid partnerships, that are of my own experience. And I will keep it really simple because I keep my skincare really simple. I only have my moisturizer, my sunscreen, my mandelic acid that I've been using for at least a year now, and some of this like makeup products that I just switched so that my skin doesn't get clogged as easily. If you need anything, any support related to your acne problems, you have to go to the dermatologist. I'm sorry, your address isn't Instagram Reels. Your address is not some influencer just pushing you to buy a product. I've seen a lot of influencers that I follow use a certain brands, certain products, and recommend them for like weeks, for like 2-3 weeks, and then they just give up on that, and then they don't use it for like the next 6 months. Girl, you said that fixed your skin, and they have perfect skin, right? So how can I know that your perfect skin like has a causal relation to that brand's products? How do I know that? I know that making this video will not get me any sponsorships from skincare brands, and I don't really care because I'm not here to influence you into buying something. I'm here to actually tell you what goes on when you have acne and what you go through basically. I was 14, I had low financial stability because I didn't work. I was 14 and I couldn't really afford to go to like private dermatologists here in Turkey because dermatologists are expensive, I know, everywhere, and healthcare is a right that most people in the world, including very developed countries like the US, can't afford. So I'm not here to tell you, oh, go to a private dermatologist. That's like the best thing you can do. I'm here to tell you that actually going to the doctors will help you, and they'll actually cost less than buying like tens of thousands of products, because I did buy tens of thousands of cheap products that did not work on me because I mean, I had a bigger problem. I had hormonal problems, maybe I had bacterial problems, but the only person that could determine is the dermatologist that you're going to see. So the first thing you should do is to go to the dermatologist. I went to the dermatologist when I was a teen, and they said, it's because I'm a teen. And then when I was 18, everything was okay. Like into the pandemic, my skin was so bad. I'm not even kidding. When I turned 20, my skin hit its lowest. Here you can see the pictures. This might be because of my stress. This might be because of my breaking relationship. This might be related to anything. I tried a lot of things that did not work. I tried a lot of brands that did not work, and I went to the dermatologist again and they said, do you want to try Accutane? I was like, no, I don't want anything, any medication. I'm against medications. I want to treat this like from the outside. But once you learn that treating it from the outside is not gonna help the inside, the acne will keep coming back over and over again. My hair looks so good right now. So when your acne comes back and again, you're like, did the dermatologist lie to me? No, they did not lie to you. That's how your skin works. So if you treat it for a certain period of time, it's gonna heal for that certain period and a little bit like linger a little bit afterward, and then it's gonna get bad if you don't treat it 100%. So what you have to do is to determine what you need. So you go to the dermatologist and they tell you that you need Accutane, and you're like, no, I don't need Accutane. You try antibacterial medication. Your acne goes away. That's what I did, and I was like happy. And then it went back when I was 21, and it got so bad. It was so bad. I had acne everywhere. It was all bleeding, and I hit one of my lowest points in my life mentally. Even though people don't really tell you you look ugly, or they don't tell you, oh, you're ugly. They don't tell you, oh, you look dirty, or like you're dirty. Even if you wash your face like a few times in the day, you still get acne, and that kind of affects your mental health. Not kinda. Who am I lying to? I was crying with my acne on, and the more stress I had, the more acne I got. So it went into like a rabbit hole of like learning skincare and what's actually the science. And I went to another dermatologist, the second one. She was like, you tried antibacterial stuff, right? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, maybe you should try this antibacterial thing, and you should try these products. So I used them. I got a new sunscreen, and she said I should use it like every day. That helped a lot with like my rosacea, because I apparently had like rosacea, but it wasn't like rosacea. I think it was just like, you know, that inflammation went down a lot because I wasn't attacked by the sun every day. And I have really fair skin. Like, I don't have anything on my skin right now. I have some blush, you can obviously see that, but I don't have anything else. So you can see, I'm sorry for the cuts on my hands, it's because of my cat. You can see how light like my face is regarding like my neck is also really white. Like it's really pale and fair. So whenever I went outside, I didn't, even if I had put on sunscreen, I would have some like redness on my skin, which is, you know, normal. But the more I started using the sunscreen, it helped. So even if you don't use anything, sunscreen actually does help. And people don't lie about that because that's a dermatologist recommended thing. It's not just influencers. But here's the thing. You don't have to just deep dive into the sunscreen influencers. They like treat you like you can use a sunscreen like once a day and then just trash it out. Like a sunscreen at least lets you use that bottle for like 6 months. So I think you're good to go if you have one like good sunscreen. You don't want to buy those like supermarket sunscreens because apparently they're not good. So again, the dermatologist recommended ones will determine. Also, I had used chemical and physical sunscreens. I loved chemical ones, but those chemical ones cannot be used during the summer on my skin sometimes because it might cause some irritation or like redness or like inflammation. So it definitely depends on your skin. And again, your skin can only be determined by a doctor, by a certified dermatologist. So again, as I said, if you need recommendations of sunscreens, just use those dermatologist recommended ones. Here are the ones that I used, and I started using Cell Fusion C when I was in Korea. That was lovely. That was a chemical one, I think, and that helped a lot. Even if you buy certain like sunscreens from different brands in different countries, just check the ingredients with a dermatologist or with a certified doctor so that the ingredients actually match with what they recommend. So they might recommend a brand that you don't have or that is really inaccessible. They might recommend you some ingredients instead of a brand, and that's how you know they're a good dermatologist. Okay, they will recommend you ingredients instead of just one brand, one specific sunscreen. So medicine should be accessible to everyone in need, and it should be affordable. So if it's like really expensive and you can't afford it, it's probably not that good, first of all. And secondly, well, it's an influencer bought it. They don't really get paid real money, to be honest. I'm not an influencer yet, so I can say that. And also, if I become an influencer one day and if I recommend a skincare product, just know that it is still a paid partnership if I ever do one. And don't plot this video, okay? And I probably will not just recommend something if I didn't use that. And again, as I say, one thing that saved my ugly face will not save your ugly face, okay? You don't have an ugly face, that's why, okay? Nobody has ugly faces just because they have acne or anything. Acne doesn't make you ugly. That makes you feel ugly, but doesn't make you ugly. You can fix your acne. So then I started using Accutane. That was a whole ride. I was using a sunscreen, a moisturizer, a different moisturizer on my lips, a burn cream, a freaking burn cream on my lips because it would just break. And I would bleed all night and my nose would bleed. And at night, not during the day, so whenever I sneezed or anything, it was full of like clots. That was horrible. I don't want to remember that time. And I used the lowest Accutane. So when I say that Accutane actually fixes things, it does. Let me show you how my skin was and how it became. How my lips used to be. And I'm 23. No, I'm 22 in this picture. And then I returned to Turkey and my skin was like this, like really shiny. And yeah, it's like really clean too. So this happened. It got cleared out and this is without the shine. It's like good. It's like really nice. It got to this point. And you know what happened? It got worse. I was using a lot of like moisturizers and a lot of like sheet masks and I was like really happy with my skin. I went to college the last year. I was a senior and my skin got worse because I was really stressed about finding a job, finding a master's degree or whatever. I didn't have relationships. I was kind of like obsessed with my friends who had boyfriends and girlfriends and I was like, why am I alone? Maybe it's because of my acne and my skin because I had scars on my skin. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to another dermatologist and ask them what the hell is wrong with me because I cannot go through this again with Accutane. And I went to them and they were like, well, it looks fine now. Just use this and that'll help you. And just buy these treatments from us. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's really expensive. And I didn't get that and my skin got worse and worse. So I went to another dermatologist the next summer. She ran a lot of tests. She said, the first thing you should worry about your skin isn't your acne, it's your moles. So you can see I have moles here, and I had moles over here that I got taken out. And then she kind of like had like a machine that like read all of my moles. And that was the greenest flags ever, because she did every mole on my body. I'm not even kidding. I apparently had like 49 moles on my body. I only knew like 10 or like 11. And I said, I have a lot of moles. She gave me a couple of creams, I remember, with benzoyl peroxide in them. Be careful when using them. If you use it like with like towels, gray towels get like yellow, because that peroxide, that is bleach that you're actually putting on your face. So I see a lot of people recommending benzoyl peroxide on the internet. Don't believe them. That helps. Benzoyl peroxide actually helps. Okay, doctors do recommend benzoyl peroxide in the US, but I feel like here, if you buy benzoyl peroxide, that can damage your skin a lot. So you should actually do not use it without any doctor's recommendation. And benzoyl peroxide is a difficult chemical to use. So just be careful if you're gonna use that. This doctor was like, oh, like your skin doesn't look dirty. Your skin looks clean. She gave me a few like La Roche-Posay's facial gels, like cleaning gels, and Cicaplast that helped. And I had another thing, I don't remember. And then I went back and I was like, this is working, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be like a regular thing. And do you know what she said? She said Accutane worked, but 99% of the time, if you lose your acne with Accutane, it comes back later in life. It might be 1 year later, it might be 5 years later. Accutane does that. And I said, maybe I didn't reach the full cycle, because with Accutane you have to hit like a certain like time and grams. And she was like, even if you hit that, like a lot of patients do come back with more acne or lower acne, but still with acne again. And I was like, oh, then it's not me, right? The problem isn't me. It's my skin working against me. And she was like, yeah, but you can work against it too. She's really hopeful, which gave me a lot of confidence again. And I was like, I did it once, I can do it again. And then she said, that's the hottest point. She said, maybe you have PCOS. Hormonal levels look a little bit sus to me, so I'm not gonna give you Accutane again, because if you have PCOS, you have to treat that first and deal with your hormones, because I don't want to fuck up with your hormones before you deal with that, and I don't want to put you through the Accutane. I was like, okay, that's the right doctor. I haven't been to her for about 1.5 years, for like 2 years now, because my skin has been great. But last year I went to the gynecologist. This is for my fellow women out there watching me, saying, I did all of that, nothing worked, and no one told me to go to a gynecologist. Go to a gynecologist and they'll run some tests. If the tests they run look clean, they'll do like an ultrasound and then decide if you have cysts. PCOS isn't cancer. Most people think it might turn to cancer. It's actually not that serious of a problem that they make it to be. But male researchers don't really research, or didn't really research the topic. So it got, most women do have PCOS, but they don't know it because we don't really know about it, apparently, for some reason. Maybe because science wasn't affordable and science wasn't accessible to women for like ages. Anyway, I'm being really creeped right now. But yeah, that's the thing. And she put me on birth control, and I was like, I don't want to be put on birth control. I don't want to use birth control. And she was like, birth control isn't something you want to use. It's something you need to use. And since then, I'm using that, and my skin got a lot better. But let me tell you, don't believe anything you see on the internet, including this video, okay? I did not tell you the part where I cried every night because I thought I looked ugly. I did not tell you about the part where I wanted to quit, okay? I didn't tell you about the part when I filtered my skin, or when I deleted every picture that had acne. This process takes a toll on you, and it's a very long process, and this is really hard to talk about. It's really difficult because it happens in your teens or like in your early 20s when you're growing, and that mindset, when it sets in your head, it kind of puts you imbalanced. Like, you think that you're ugly and you make it your own problem, and then it becomes everybody else's problem. Everyone tells you that you're not ugly, maybe. Everyone might try to tell you that you look pretty and you're pretty. I look in the mirror and I don't like what I see in the mirror. I look like a dirty person. The skin looks dirty. People like comment on your skin. My grandma used to say, maybe you should use some foundation because your skin needs it. She didn't mean no harm, but it harmed me. I still think about it to this day. I was like 18, 17 when she said that. And she was like, some skins need foundation. Anyways, what I'm saying is, if you're anywhere in this process and you're trying to figure out what to do, here is what you need to do. First, you need to go to the dermatologist and deal with your health issues first. If you have PCOS, if you have anything related to your acne problems, treat that first. You might have some other health problem that you don't know. If you rule those health issues out, the only problem that you have is your acne, and then you can treat it with the ingredients which are necessary for your own skin, and the dermatologist will determine them. Niacinamide, medicazoid, I don't know if I'm saying this right, glycolic acid or mandelic acid. You have a lot of acids like hyaluronic acid. You'll figure that out, but just don't give up, because it is a process. It has its ups and downs. If you think I have good skin right now, it's because I didn't give up. If you think I have really bad skin and I still talk about these issues, what the fuck are you doing here? And like, I wouldn't say I have a shitty skin. I do have scars. Like, I do have acne scars around here and here. That doesn't mean I'm ugly. I don't really want to put that money into a medical treatment yet, because it's a scientific medical procedure that isn't just clickbaity, that isn't just to get my money. My current skincare consists of my moisturizer, my oil cleanser, my facial cleanser, my sheet masks, and my sunscreen. And on top of that, I have one toner, and I have, what else do I have? I have concealer and I have foundation. So it's in total like 10 products. So I can fit them in my bag and I can take them anywhere I go. It's like a travel size, obviously, because I don't use a lot of like stuff. Because when I use a lot of stuff, my skin gets worse. So I try to use as minimum as possible. So here are all of the products that I'm currently using on the screen, and I love all of them. But again, I'm not advertising any of them. I'm just telling you what I'm currently using that are acne prone skin friendly, because I have an acne prone skin. But you should also know that your diet is really important and the stress levels are really important. So again, if you don't fix those problems beforehand, your skin is not gonna get any better or worse. It's just gonna be the same or worse, I don't know. So you have to fix those before you try to fix your acne. And also I want to tell women out there that you're pretty no matter what, and you can fix your skin. But those people who tell you that acne is ugly aren't gonna fix anything, okay? So just don't give up. Go to a dermatologist, talk to a dermatologist. Or just find reliable sources online on YouTube. I'll just link them down below. The first person that I loved on Skincare Talk or Skincare Tube, whatever you call it, was Tina Tanaka Harris. She's an Australian YouTuber. She's lovely. Whenever I ask a question about a certain product, I get her honest opinion most of the time. She's the only one that popped in my head right now, but I'll just recommend it down below. I have some Korean and Japanese recommendations as well. I see a lot of like influencers that I follow just recommend certain products certain days, and then they forget that they recommended it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any like further questions about my acne journey, you can ask them in the comments, or we can do like a question answer video about like ingredients or whatever. I know a lot about acne stuff, but don't get me wrong, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a pharmacist, I don't have any like pharmacology diploma or whatever. I work in pharmaceuticals, but that doesn't mean that I know everything about it, or most of it. I know very little about pharmaceuticals and the business. So just let me know what you want to know, and then I might give you some advice on that. So I need to tell you that acne doesn't define who you are, and mental health support is all around. So please do not treat yourself badly, okay? Just because you have acne. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!